the NBA is horrified of this as the Milwaukee Bucks come out and dominate the Orlando Magic from start to finish in a game that saw Giannis dominate, Dame dominate. The Bucks only shoot 12 threes, and Ryan Rollins shine once again. It was a huge win for the Bucks. I'm going to break all that down, but before you into it, a quick reminder, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Bucks content, so make sure to smash that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just dive right into it, and let's not waste any more time. And at a time where the trade deadline is less than a month away, it is in February, the Bucks are showing John Horst, hey, you need to go out and you need to make some moves. They need to go out and spend some assets, spend your first round picks, do whatever you have to do to fortify this team, because man, oh man, what a game from everybody involved from start to finish. And let's start with, of course, Damian Lillard. 13 for 19. It was the Dame show tonight. 30 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He does everything right out there on the floor. And quite frankly, he has really started to shine as of late. And it's been to a point now where you're thinking about what the Bucks need to do as the trade deadline approaches, what assets they need to, make. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a huge win for the Bucks. But Damian Lillard, he is, if there was any Dame haters, they're all silenced now. Giannis as well. I mean, again, a 30-point, 11 rebound game. This happens every night for Giannis. This isn't something that's new. This isn't something that is special for him. And I feel bad glossing over it, but he's been so good this season. It was insane. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not against easy teams. This is against the Orlando Magic, one of the best teams in the East, and they come out from start to finish and dominate. And there's a few points I do want to go over here, of course, but man, oh man, what a great game. And it started off almost just as hot as it did in the last game where they scored 47 points in the first quarter. They need to continue these hot starts. Absolutely on fire in the first quarter. Dame, Giannis, everybody. And we will dive into the Ajax injury, and we'll have updates for you on that as they come out and as we get them from Doc Rivers. But ladies and gentlemen, in a game that saw, I don't even know, I can't even put it into words. The Orlando Magic are a very good team, and the Bucks come out and they crush them from start to finish. They need to continue these hot starts. Ryan Rollins, we'll dive into him in a little bit. But the big thing I want to talk about now, the rotations actually feel good. Like in the past, especially when they were struggling earlier on in the season, the bench rotations felt like, okay, can the Bucks survive these bench minutes of Bobby Portis, of whoever else was on the floor, Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green? Not that they were playing necessarily bad, but again, Gary missed another game tonight. The bench minutes used to be something that would be scary, and that, the Bucks would lose. Anytime Giannis or Dame were off the floor, they would lose those minutes. Now that you have a bit of a nice bench between Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton, and then whoever else comes in, AJ Green and Ryan Rollins both getting some run. Specifically, AJ Green was a plus 24 tonight. He is going to continue to get more run, especially with Gary Trent Jr. out and with Andre Jackson Jr. out. He obviously had to step up, and we'll get into Chris Middleton as well with a great game. But the bench is starting to look good now. It's actually helping towards the team. It's being a positive, and rather than it's been being an additive rather than a negative. And what that means is, there's a few different things. I think Doc now is finally figuring out how to manage and build his rotations properly. And it's taken a while for him to do this, but he's figuring out how to manage all the guys, whether that's the highly paid players, whether that's the guys who are, on the cheap contracts, the two-way contracts. Back-to-back wins, a big game for the Milwaukee Bucks. And they only took 12 threes. They were not shooting the three a ton tonight. And in the NBA that we're in now, we saw Adam Silver come out with comments saying they're going to try to, lower the amount of three-pointers being taken. But regardless, with the amount of threes that get taken in this year's NBA and the NBA in general, you see the Magic shot 46, the Bucks shot 12, and the Bucks won the game. And they shot efficiently from there. But that's because they were playing great team basketball. They had 24 assists, which isn't a crazy amount, but it's still a solid amount. And, for a team that has been so up and down this season, to come out back-to-back wins against very good teams. You snap the Sacramento Kings 7-game win streak. You come out, you beat an Orlando Magic team that got Paolo Banchero back a week or two ago and now is starting to look good again. And then you crush them, an absolute statement win. The team looks good. And as the trade deadline approaches, we're hearing rumblings of Jimmy Butler. We're hearing rumblings of all these different players. The Bucks do need to add. Now, whether or not they're going to get rid of Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton is still up in the air, but Chris Middleton had a good game tonight. He got 6 assists with 0 turnovers. Turnovers have been his kryptonite. He hasn't been able to take care of the ball, but now that he's on a less pressure bench role in limited minutes, he's able to find his groove. He hits every single midi. His middies are automatic. He goes 5 for 8. Most of those, almost all of them, if not all of them, are middies. And 19 points in 20 minutes for Chris Middleton, or 14 points, sorry, in 20-ish minutes with a plus 19. That's about as good as you can get. And for a team that coming into this game, you were thinking, okay, they got a big win, right? They got a big win against the Sacramento Kings. Can they continue this? Will they be able to continue this streak, or was it going to be the classic Bucks where they're up and down, up and down, up and down? We see Doc Rivers actually have some nice bench minutes. They're staggering the minutes well. Dame didn't have to play a ton. Giannis didn't have to play a ton. We're not seeing 36, 37 minutes a game. You're able to stagger their minutes, especially in a game where Ajax goes down with an injury. You have guys like AJ Green, guys like Chris Middleton, but Ryan Rollins step up in his absence again. 6 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. His numbers are never going to jump off the table, but man, if you watched this game tonight, he needs to get signed to a contract ASAP, and I think they are. Again, I think I mentioned this I believe it was yesterday's post-game video. They're trying to move off of Marjon Beauchamp, so that way they can open up a roster spot for Ryan Rollins, but man, what a huge game. The vibes are great. You see Giannis and Chris Middleton and Dame, celebrating on the bench. It looks very, very good. And the team is taking, again, they only shot 12 threes. They were taking efficient middies, specifically Chris Middleton. Obviously, a lot of good drives. Penetration was great tonight. And what that means is you're going to be more efficient. They shot 62.5% from the field tonight and 58.3% from three. It's one of the most efficient games we've seen. Yes, the free throws are rough. They're always going to be a little bit rough with Giannis on your team. But compare this to the Bucks or the Magic that shot 34% from the field and 26% from three. The Bucks were the better team, and they were pretty healthy. They had Paolo. Paolo was always great. Obviously, missing Franz Wagner and things like that, who was very good, who was elite. But, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I am over the moon about this game. And I don't know, some fans are saying the Magic don't move them in the playoffs. I want to get to the playoffs first, and we'll see who the matchup ends up being. But in a game where, Bobby Portis is playing his role a little bit better as of late. Chris Middleton is playing his role better as of late. Even Pat Connaughton, he's playing his role fine. He's not disastrous out there anymore. And maybe they won't be able to get a team to take him in a trade, or maybe he's a part of a bigger blockbuster trade. But over the past 2 to 3 games, he's been playing fine. He's playing good defense, a good rebounder, and if he can just do that, just be a solid contributor defensively. You don't have to be a good contributor offensively on a team that has Dame and Giannis, and of course all these other guys. And things are looking good again. The players you didn't think were going to play well were playing really well. The defense has been really good. They need to do this every night. You can see them flip a switch. They cannot go from great defensive performances to poor defensive performances. It's not something that they should or can do. They cannot afford to do it. They're in the middle of the Eastern Conference. We see some nights like tonight where their defense is elite. It is a controllable variable. They need to continue to put the effort in. It is a matter of effort rather than skill. They have Andre Jackson Jr. You have some good skill guys. But even guys like Dame, if you put in some more effort on defense like we saw tonight, you'll hold the opposing teams to horrible percentages, which makes the games easier anyway, especially against a team like the Orlando Magic who shoot a ton of threes. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. A massive game. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm fired up about this one. The Bucks are rolling, and we're going to keep you updated with all the latest news. So make sure to smash that subscribe button. Cheers.